This damn dog been trying to get in here.
Mamas!
Goddamn, Gigi. Girl, why can't you go do your own thing? Get in here.
This is her thing. She been here since morning. Hi, Mamas. Hi. We done.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Symposium podcast, hosted by Wright and Rose Gold. Y'all know what it is over here, man. This is the show where we focus on mental health and other various things. This is episode 133.
Yes.
The boys have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Like a lot to say. In today's episode, we are focusing on Trump versus Elon. We're focusing on BK scholarship. Call her Alex. If you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Got some shout outs in there as well. Happy Pride Month. And of course, it is June, so we are touching on Men's Mental Health Month.
Correct.
And then for topics, we are focusing on Streamer University. Also, there's a lot of women here.
Not literally.
Not literally. You'll see. You'll hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Circling back to men's mental health. That's kind of hard to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, and hearing a little more about that, talking about that a little more. Also, safety care training. That sounds interesting. What are we talking about? You'll find out. And last but not least, be like Snoop. What does that mean? Well, listen to the episode, or for those who are watching, stay tuned and find out.
Yeah.
Anything for the people?
Nah, man, you said it all, man. Just tune in and check us out, man. We back. 133, season 5.
Yeah.
All right.
That being said, enjoy the show.
This is the Symposium podcast with Wright and Romero.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Symposium podcast. On the other side of the chair, let the people know who you are, sir.
What up, people? Right here, back with another one for you. Kick it back to my main man.
Y'all know what it is over here, man. Rose gold in the building. Watch, chain. Nothing else needs to be said. In case you don't recognize it, we are definitely in a new location.
Yes.
I'm gonna let my man speak on it real quick.
Yeah, man. We got a new spot, man. We're in a new spot, new neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
you know, new pod room, right? Just solely dedicated to the pod room and to you know, whatever we end up trying to get into, you know what I mean? But yeah, so we got a solid location, man.
This is nice.
I'm pretty excited for it, you know. So
y'all can't see the rest of it, but it is.
It's laid out pretty decent, man. Get my nerd on in here, you know what I mean? So
Es muy bueno.
Yeah. So happy about that.
No more interruptions.
Yeah.
No more fucking kids.
Yeah.
This is it. But as always, before we get into anything else, yeah. To my mans, to the people, welcome to the party.
You're getting fancy today.
That's right. Copper here.
Yeah.
Pinkies only.
I chose this in honor of Father's Day, man.
I ain't even gonna lie to you, I forgot.
I know. It'd be like that. So congrats to you, my man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Had to, you know, my man's up on time.
I made it.
I was gonna get into that a little bit, but you know, let's get it started.
How are you, brother? Let's start there.
I'm tired, but I'm good, man. It's
been
a long week, man. You know, just the moving process and you know, just a lot, man. Just a lot. Still not nowhere near done, but I'm in a good place.
Yeah.
In a good place, man. Things are working out. You know, still got some little hiccups here and there, but you know, we're gonna get through it and figure it out. But man, other than that, I can't complain, man.
You know? You coming up, my man. You talked about this for a minute, so
so
see it. It's very nice.
Getting there, man. Getting there. How about yourself, man? How you feeling?
Tired.
Yeah.
Tired.
Yeah.
Not even gonna lie to you. It's been it's just a busy life, but you know, my little man. It was just the two of us for the past few days.
Yeah.
You know, his mom's was out in the world working, so it was an adventure.
Yeah.
It was an adventure. I love that dude. At the same time, I'm like, chill out, relax.
Yeah, he don't know what that is. Yeah.
No. He just kind of look at me and just walk the fuck off. I'm like, no. So.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man. Should we get into some news?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. We ain't done this in a minute.
I know, man. Got a couple things for you, man. Obviously, past week or so, it's been a lot of internet beef.
I need I need you to break this one down because people have been saying things and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Just bear with me, y'all, because I'm just going off I've seen it on there, but I'm just going off just an article. So obviously Elon Musk and Trump, I don't know where this beef came from.
I'm saying, right?
But
okay.
But they was like going at it on via social media, of course. Elon had a bunch of things to say, so this funny title. So Musk and Trump are enemies made for each other, united in their ability to trash their own brands. They call it a soap opera, right? So the latest plot development, the falling out between the title character and his best buddy Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
So still a surprise, overrated, but watching them, the richest men in the world, most powerful, turn on each other was like very entertaining. But so recently though, Elon went on there and kind of wanted to patch it up with him. But it declared from what did they say? It was like something about the tariff. Like Elon didn't agree with
the tariffs.
Elon didn't agree with one of his points, but they just the way he came at it. And I apologize, I had it.
Trump took that as disrespect.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So his apology, of course, he started saying he shouldn't have said what he said, because they was it was kind of crazy. They were really going back and forth with each other, but
it's very weird.
Yeah. So a lot of Twitter fingers. So he was like, oh yeah, here we go. So as we know from the fact that Musk turned up on his first day at Twitter carrying a sink and honking, let that sink in. This is a guy who just loves crashingly literal joke. So it's a shame the president was too busy playing golf to turn up at Elon's Texas baby mother's compound. And he said, so this week, so they not, I will get back to what exactly the tweets, because I don't know if they're still up. But basically, they were just, it was a lot of Elon, just kind of talk, remember what we said was, when the tariffs hit, a lot of people that voted for him, they're going to be happy with it, because it's going to mess with their pockets too.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just basically calling shit dumb, and but then he started just taking it a little too far, and
he said some things.
Yeah,
he said some things.
He said when it he's in them Epstein files.
Yep.
Trump would be in a mess. Who didn't know that? But so, and Trump didn't really go back and forth a lot though. Surprisingly, yeah. So they said, he was doing his golf thing, and but it was just funny to see. But then I was wondering how long this was gonna go. But then recently, Elon apologized. Mm-hmm. Say he took it too far. So I don't know what's gonna come of that. But it was all just corny but funny.
It's stupid.
Y'all have nothing better to do.
You have billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Really, I think the thing that's really interesting is you have one person who is a billionaire and has brought some level of technology, right? Talking about Tesla and shit. And then you have another billionaire who is our fucking president.
Yes.
Going at it on Twitter. What are we doing? Niggas is crying over eggs and y'all doing, okay, so whatever. That's, I guess we'll see what happens with this nonsense.
Yeah.
It should be done.
Right.
But we'll see. What else you got, sir?
I thought it was just a cool one. So a high school team got like a Burger King scholarship and over like 200,000 donations. After rushing home from graduation to work.
Okay.
So a Georgia teen hustles breaking the internet. Michael Baker, fresh out of high school graduation, didn't even take a second to pop bottles and turn up. Instead, he rushed straight to his shift at Burger King, still rocking his graduation stolen medals. His story blew up on TikTok, and he's now getting love in a major way. So thanks to a viral video, an enormous GoFundMe, and Burger King doing what they do, his college dreams will soon be turned into reality. So 18-year-old walked across stage. Hours later, he's hustling to work. That's the story. And so then the post went viral because he came back with, his graduation stuff. And I'm like, oh, I gotta get to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so someone started a GoFundMe. And the fundraiser, which the goal is 60,000, but it surpassed that and reached over 200,000 in time. They say he didn't do it for attention. He doesn't even know the story went viral, but thousands of people moved by his dedication, humility, and work ethic. So they came through. So the community came through for him, especially the TikTok community. You know how that worked.
Mm-hmm.
And then Burger King also blessed him. So Burger King caught wind of the viral moment and decided to come through with some serious love. So during one of Michael's shifts, surrounded by his work squad, the company surprised him with $10,000 scholarship to help with his college expenses. So I just thought that was super dope, man.
My man, he's focused.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even have like a moment, didn't even recognize anything.
Right.
He's just like, I gotta work.
Like, didn't even take off because I gotta graduate. Like, no, I gotta get this money.
That's very respectful.
So that was pretty dope, man. Yeah. So it was just like fun story to share, dude.
Good for you, sir. Man, you gonna do big things. So
absolutely.
The way to do it. That's the way to do it. Respect. Okay. So I only have a little bit of news.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody pretty much knows who this is. If you don't, well, you'll learn.
Yeah.
Alex Cooper, who is the, what would you say, creator? Co-creator? I'd say creator.
Mm-hmm.
The creator of the famous podcast, Call Her Daddy, now has a documentary out on Hulu.
Yeah.
This comes from USA Today. Who is Alex Cooper? What to know before watching Call Her Daddy's host documentary. Alex Cooper is used to asking the questions, but a new documentary flips the script and makes her the subject. The Call Her Daddy podcast host is the focus of Hulu's new 2-part documentary series, Call Her Alex. The series offers a behind-the-scenes look at Cooper's career as she grew from a 24-year-old woman with a sex and dating podcast to the CEO of a media empire in just 6 years, according to a news release. So, if any of you are bored or you're interested in what that has to say, whatever, go check it out.
Have you seen it?
No.
You seen some clips?
Yeah, I've seen some clips. I even saw a commercial for it this morning, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I might check it out."
Yeah, it was.
You watched it?
No, I didn't watch it yet, but
okay.
I just follow. I know of her since she was doing the podcast back when she had Sophia with F on it, and then their whole fallout, and then her come up.
Mm-hmm.
But I just knew she was. I knew she was a college soccer player. So all that drama was kind of crazy to see. But a funny thing is though, like I remember when they were filming this documentary because she was already left Barstool, but and honestly, like a lot of people at Barstool, like she made the way for them to get paid because she made them a lot of money, but it's just funny because when she left Barstool, when she was coming back filming it, and I remember watching like a random Barstool clip, but she was just coming through and like, it was like, oh, hey, how you doing? It was just like very like, like buddy with everybody.
Yeah.
And they was like, when, you know, Dr. They was like, man, she didn't even fuck with us. She was doing that for the cameras. Like, and I was like, that's that kind of track, bro. Like, yeah, like she was just doing that when cameras came in. We were looking like, what the fuck is this? Like, oh, hey, buddy. Like, you never fuck with me when you was here.
Don't do this.
So I thought that was funny, man, because they just kept it real. Like, man, like she didn't fuck with us when she was here.
Spot on.
Yeah, and they said they was barely in the, you know, they barely came in. Like,
yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah. They had like I can't even remember. They had an event, and back when Sophia with an F was a part of it too, they just kind of showed up, and it's like, what the fuck? What y'all doing here? So it's so funny. Does Sophia with an F still have her own podcast?
I don't know. I thought she did, but I haven't seen anything of it.
TBD
in a while. Yeah.
I think that would be interesting to look into. But other than that, that's news to me. Y'all know what's going on out in the world now. Some good things, some not so good, and some random. Now, before we get into anything else, my man has some shout outs.
Yeah, man. Definitely it is June, so happy Pride Month.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy Pride Month. I haven't seen anything going on just yet, and the weather's been real shitty. I'm sure it's been fucking up y'all weekends to go crazy, but
I'm surprised there hasn't been a pub crawl down.
Right.
Yeah,
it's usually like busy a lot of fun, but so I guess TBD on that information. But also, I said it earlier, but happy Father's Day. This will be already out by the time, you know, I mean, Father's Day have already been passed. It's tomorrow. By the time y'all hear this, though.
Hope it was good.
Yeah, I hope y'all had a great Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all. Yeah, and lastly, it is Men's Mental Health Month. So that's very important to me, very important to us. That's, you know, part of our MO on this podcast.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah, man. So we will be, you know, getting into that a little bit. But just shout out, you know, give those shout outs. Yeah, that's all I can think of right now.
It's good. Appreciate. Okay, let's get into some topics. I'm actually very interested to see what is going to be said about this one.
Yeah. Are you familiar with any of it?
Kinda, but not really. Kai Cenat.
Yeah, it's crazy. Dude, so a couple weeks ago, all right, that's news to me. That's shout outs, all that. Sorry about that. We done. All right, so Streamer University. All right, y'all. If you know, you know. Super dope concept. So it's basically like the real world 2025. It seemed like College Hill 2025.
Okay.
So Kai Cenat, one of the biggest streamers out right now, had brought the idea about to be on the college campus. They were on like Akron's campus, and had over 100 streamers, big and small there, creators, big and small there, just live streaming for a weekend, Memorial Day weekend to be exact.
Okay.
And just to get content, to learn, he had like professors, like content creators were professors, like teaching.
Like actual classes.
Yeah, but it was like some funny stuff too. But then it was a lot of funny stuff. But like Agent 00 had a great, like he had some dope, like how to get started, how to, you know, brand deal and all that. It was real dope. But then they had some funny ones, like Dude Dennis taught gym class, DDT taught internet beef 101.
Sure.
Which was funny. So it was dope, man. But it was I would say, so he turned down like Netflix to take this, Prime, Tubi, all that, and it was over 23 million streams watched, like of hours watched.
Okay.
And my old 37-year-old, I was glued to this young shit, and it was very entertaining. Like, it was so entertaining, bro. Like, it just every day was something. Like, and just the way he do it, man. Like, he just be putting so many people on. It's so dope. Like just even like the people now that's like popping just from this Streamer University. Like like some people came in there with like 10 views and got, like the bigger streamers like was walking by, like, hey, follow their Twitch, do that, and then they blew their shit up, or sub them and they blew their shit up. So people took advantage of it. But it's funny because a lot of smaller streamers, I don't know if it was like scared or what, but they did, a few of them just stayed in their room and did their own thing, like didn't take advantage of the moment where, clip farming is a big thing and getting clips, and like a few of them didn't. A few of them dropped the ball on it, but a handful did, and like you see them more now on like your For You page or on your algorithm because they took advantage of it. And I just thought it was just a super dope like idea. I honestly hope he didn't do it again, but I could see him doing it again. But I think it'll be watered down after.
Okay.
Just because it's like when you do something like, it'll just be like, what more can you do? I think like, you gave him the blueprint, but like once he did it, like now everybody trying to have a university.
Yeah.
And that's corny to me, but.
Yeah, no, I get you.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he could do it like, he could do it much better, but it's just like that original, because it wasn't perfect. And that's what was so dope about it. Like it was, it was a lot of shit that was going wrong and could have went wrong. Like, especially when people found out about it, then motherfuckers started coming to the campus. Like a couple dudes snuck in and, just shit like that. But like, it wasn't perfect, and that's what made it dope, because it was live. Like,
well, they had to shut the shit down too, right?
For a little bit, but not really, nah.
Okay.
Well, it was cool, but it was imperfect, and that's what made it so dope, so it was just original. But I could see him doing it again, but it was crazy though. It was crazy. It was just super tight, man. But shout out to him, man, for that.
Casanat, man, he's really come up.
Yeah, because it's a few creators that like actually took advantage, and now they shit kind of taking off.
It's what are your thoughts on like streaming has been around for a minute, but in terms of,
bro, I've had a streaming channel for so long that
have you really?
I have not dropped one video on it, bro. Like,
that's
funny. It's funny because Twan on the stream with it, he was like, "Let's just do it in here." I was like, maybe we will, especially if GTA 6 when they come out.
I don't know, man. It's an interesting.
But yeah, because my cousin he still streams, but he play video games, play Madden, and I started a channel, but I just never
did much shit with it. Okay.
Nah, man.
I mean, there's money to be made. There's an audience.
Yeah.
There's an audience
for everything.
For everything. So I don't know. That's something to think about.
Yeah.
I'm not in that space. I would not. I can't say that I wouldn't do it. It's just like this right here is enough for the time being.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm gonna look into Streamer University. I saw some clips.
It was actually pretty dope, bro.
I believe it.
It's just funny. It was funny. Entertaining. Very, very entertaining, man.
Okay. Should we get into the next topic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I titled it that way.
Okay.
So back in November 2024, I went to a conference. Where was it? Out in Breville Park, actually.
Okay.
It was focusing on mental health and child education, right? And it was a very interesting conference. When I walked into like the ballroom or whatever, where they were having their keynote speaker, I just remember seeing a lot of women, like majority of the people that were there were women. And I just remember looking at my supervisor, like, there's a lot of women here.
What kind of conference was this again?
It was focusing on mental health and children's education and just like what's going on with them and stuff. It was a good conference. It was a good conference. It's just, that's something that stood out to me. Like majority of the people, whether it was in the crowd or a keynote speaker, what have you, a lot of them were women. Not hating, but something that I thought was interesting. Like I never had this thought in my entire career and just being in the mental health field. But I was like, wow, there seems to be, a lack of men in this field. I'm like, why? Why is that? So that was just something that really stood out to me. Like, what's going on? Why?
What do you think that is?
And men were there. There were like few far in between, but because I even saw another brother and he was like, yeah, man.
Oh, typical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to explain that to somebody. I was like, you see somebody in the head now. Do you know that person? No. But they there.
Yeah. That's a very real thing.
Seriously. But what was your question?
Why do you think it was just female dominated like that?
Good question. That's been on my mind for like since that thing. I've been meaning to ask you this for the longest time. You being in the education field, right? You've had to see something like that, or
absolutely.
Like there are men and women in the educational field. However, there's probably one more than the other.
Yeah,
right?
there's definitely not enough men in the educational field.
Okay.
Especially not enough black men in the educational field.
Yeah.
So that is a thing for sure. I'm not sure. I mean, there's a lot of factors you could say why that is, but like, I don't know what it will come down to though. It's because it's not like, it's just not. You can go to stereotype. You can go to education. Like a lot of people don't want to go to school for it. Don't want to go back to school. And a lot of schooling for it. Worth. Are they getting their worth when they? Are we getting paid what we
feel we're worth?
Feel we're worth or deserve to be paid. You know what I mean? It's a lot of that.
It's fair.
So yeah, it could be a lot, man. It's a lot of factors, but that's true. There's not a lot of male representation in education. So with that, in even what you talking about mental health, like I can see nowadays probably but like I can see it not being a lot of representation in that because of the male, that pride and ego.
Yeah, that sort of dynamic.
And we've talked about that with mental health and all that. So,
and I was gonna say, I think that was like one of the biggest takeaways for me. I think even though mental health it's come a long way. Yeah. I think there's still that sort of stereotype where men, not just men, but like, in order to be in the mental health field, one of the things that you have to kind of be keen on, I think, is understanding where another person, empathy. Yeah. You have to be empathetic. Yeah. And women are very good at that. Yeah. Sure. And so for men, let's just say here in the United States, right? I think that is a challenge for us because we're supposed to be stoic and we're not supposed to be like, oh man, I'm sorry that happened to you, dog. No, it's like, shut the fuck up, go do what you need to do. It's not about talking about your feelings or anything like that. We're not supposed to be empathetic in that way. We're just supposed to be like, get your shit, go. Yeah. Figure it out. And I think that's hard. And I think that's part of the reason why there aren't many men in the field. In my opinion. Yeah. So, okay. That's good. Yeah. I'm following that. That's tough though, because, and especially for me being there as a male and as a black man, honestly, I wish I could remember the brother's name that I met there, because he was really good. He was a great speaker, but it's just interesting to be in that space. And like, you hear what people are saying, you hear that people are intrigued and stuff like that, but you know that there's a difference between meeting with a therapist who is a woman and meeting with a therapist who is a man. Yeah. Like, yes, you can connect with either one, but there's still a difference. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I was just like, damn, I didn't know it was that big of a gap. So that was kind of an eye opener for me. Is there like a preference with that? In terms of like would you prefer male or female therapist? Good question. Well, I don't think it necessarily. I think overall it doesn't necessarily matter. Because even my last therapist, she was a woman, great woman, by the way. Shout out to Carla. I still owe you $60, by the way. I think it's another thing is like why you're going, because perspective, right?
Yeah.
You know what's the situation? You can go to a woman who is a therapist, and they can understand. If you go to a male therapist, they can probably relate. Okay, firsthand experience. You're experiencing this. I can talk about this a little more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think for me it probably wouldn't matter if it's a male or female, but I think I would want one that was like I think I would want my therapist to be African American though.
You've mentioned that a few times.
Just because it's just that cultural understanding, and you know, but I don't know if that's even the right way to think about it. But that's just kind of my mindset when it comes to it. If we're being honest here,
I think there's a level of, again, going back to this whole thing. I think it has to do with a level of comfort.
Yeah.
You see somebody that looks like you.
Yeah.
You're less guarded.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, you
can relate, or you know what I'm talking about, or you understand where I'm coming from, you know?
Example, saying what's understood don't need to be explained.
Yeah. Right.
That's it. Some people probably listen to that and be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, explain it. I'm like, no.
No. But yeah. So I just wanted to bring that up because I thought that stood out to me for the longest time. Just being at a conference like that. Again, it was good. I just didn't know there was that much of a gap between men and women in this space. That's also why I asked you about like the educational space. Cause is it like that there as well?
It's pretty much, I would say pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. It's growing, but it's pretty much the same for the most part. Especially sorry to cut you off. Just because education, I don't know where education is going right now, man. It's not in a great place. It's not in a great place right now. It's just it feels like it's becoming a divide between admin and teachers. Like,
can you touch on that?
I can try. It's different parts for that, because it's like also the students are just different, man. So it's just like teachers, like you're losing a lot of teachers in education right now, because it's like just that mental abuse they're getting from teaching this student that don't even want to be taught, or just like every day just breaking them down, wearing them down, and it's just nothing changing, nothing happens. So that's when this teacher versus admin piece come in, because it's like teachers don't feel supported, you know, and that's across the board. Like I've seen, social media, they tell it all, and that's the consensus. It's like teachers don't feel supported. So that's kind of where that divide is. It's like we're losing a lot of teachers in education, just because of that. They just don't feel supported. They don't feel supported for when it comes to parents, when it comes to the students. Even when it comes to like curriculum, like it's just tough, and I don't know why that is. Why it's just tough, like. Especially when like you're not in the classroom, you haven't been in the classroom for years. So it's like it's just different, bro. Like everything is different, man, and it's crazy. Like education is a wild place to be right now, and it's been like this for some years now, and I don't know where it's going. But it doesn't feel to be in a great place.
It's very interesting to hear you say that, because that's something that I would never really think about in terms of, education being this, almost becoming like the Wild West, in a certain way. also funny because there's similar things that I see in the mental health field.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna get into it right now because education is a big topic in itself.
Very broader.
But no, that's see now the gears are turning. Yeah, man, like okay, can't have no dead air. Can't have no silence.
Yeah.
Can't have no silence. But just thinking about it, let's say, okay, here's a question for you, because I know these sort of situations when it comes to, let's say, being in the field versus admin, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest disconnect between the two?
The biggest disconnect?
Yeah.
Between like teachers and admin.
Teachers and admin.
Honestly, I'd say like for admin, it's like that disconnect is like, like I said, you haven't been in the classroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you don't really know what's going on, like per se. Then you got probably the stress they going through, like, because they got to answer to somebody, So
higher
it's
ups.
like, the higher ups. And the higher ups are really removed,
Nigga, that drives me nuts.
Yeah, like
I get it.
The higher ups are really removed, so they don't, admin probably be beefing with them, but it's just like, it's just that lack of like, like they gotta, there's no middle with a lot of it, and I think that's what's tough for teachers, because they just want to feel supported, and it's a lot of saying one thing but not showing it, so that's kind of where that divide is.
Being a teacher yourself, I'm kind of curious to know if you've experienced this. So higher ups, right? Top of the top, they want something done, and they kind of apply pressure. Yeah. Right? And then you have underneath higher ups, you have management. Okay, management is feeling that pressure. Or I don't know necessarily hierarchy in the educational system, but basically it kind of, whatever that looks like, it just trickles down all the way to teachers, like, hey, you need to be doing X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Is it like that?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Or especially when it's like, these students need to be meeting this test goal or this.
Yeah, like.
And it's like, bro, have y'all been in this? And have y'all like seen my classroom? Like, we can't get them to do shit. You think they like with these phones or passing time? It's like, what? How can they practice for this test? How can they study for this test when we struggling with X, Y, Z? When we got kids that come to school just to eat and sleep. You know what I mean? It's like we got to do way more than that, and it's just.
Are you funded? Do you ever get funds through the state for things?
Well, that's where the testing comes from. That's why.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Scores need to be what they need to be so you can get state funded.
Yes, I understand that very well.
So that's where that pressure comes from.
Yeah.
From up top,
Hey, we need to get X amount. Fucking, we don't have the people. The books. We don't have the books.
We don't have the resources, but just do it.
That shit drives me nuts, but we're not gonna get into this.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right, let's keep moving.
Yeah. Men's mental health.
Yeah, it's you.
Men's mental health, man. I feel like it's very important, especially to us. Just that acknowledgement and like awareness of, just how important it is, man. Like we say that so much. And just it's challenging though. You know, it's challenging to even acknowledge mental health.
Yeah.
In some instances, you know, I feel like for us being older and, you know, just being through some shit, you know, it's like, all right, this is messing with my mental health, or you know, and that's where that stress comes from, and you know, just spreading that awareness that it's okay. Like I in my line of work, I deal with a lot of young African American men, young men, and I remember being in high school and being that age where it's like never believed in it, and so it's for some they like get into it, but there's a few who can really use it, like talking to someone, and they just be so up and down, but they won't, you know, it's like that's not a thing for them. That's not that's not in their, that's not how they're used to handling things. So why start now, you know? And just kind of breaking that barrier down is tough, but you know, it's the gig is the gig, you know, that's what you sign up for. So just continuing that, and you know, just it's that stigma, you know, that men can ask for help, boys can ask for help, you know, they gotta be, you know, we've been saying that for years on this podcast, but you know, just trying to get through to them that that's not the case. Like it's okay to ask for help. It's okay not to be okay. You know what I mean? So we gotta, you know, just gotta figure that out. You know, we gotta figure that out. You know, it's just that stigma around it, man. It's societal, that, you know, masculinity and all that, but it's just like, dog, it's just dumb, man. It's just dumb. Like, you gotta take care of yourself. And a lot of them don't know how. A lot of men don't know how.
Yeah.
You know?
We, it's so funny. We talked about this long ago, like back in season 1, talking, I think this is like one thing, because it's funny that you bring this up. I think it's one thing that if you even talked about this particular thing, a man would look at you like, what the fuck? What you talking about? Self-care.
Right. Yeah.
Self-care.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think self-care is just, again, we talked about it, like pampering yourself, you know, treating yourself to something. And that's just a part of it.
Yeah.
Self-care really is, GG on one.
Yeah.
Self-care is just where you work on yourself. Like the things that are difficult, things that are going on in your life, you figure out like, okay, what do I need to do for myself to either get better or get out of this situation? And that's not really explored. It's not, sometimes it's not even an option.
Yeah,
most of the time it's not an option.
Facts.
Which is hard, man. It's just so fucking hard. It's even funny to not just to talk about self-care, but men's mental health. Obviously, if you're listening to this podcast, that's what we focus on. But I had a moment myself where things were really rough. Like work was extremely difficult. I was getting burnt out. We'll talk about that in another episode too.
Yeah.
I was getting burnt out, and I could not catch up with like editing and stuff. You guys, this is season 5. Okay.
Oh yeah.
We mentioned it in 128, so you should be caught up by the time you hear all of this. But like, we were 6 to 7 episodes deep, and they were not being uploaded at a scheduled time because I was burnt the fuck out. My mental health was not good. I literally had to call my man E and be like, Nick, dog, I'm going through it.
Oh yeah, no, I thought that phone call was like, all right, hey man, I think we're done with the podcast. I'm like, shit, bro, like,
nah, brother.
But
it was straight up like,
understandably, yeah,
like,
you know,
dude, I'm going through it right now. I'm not putting it off. It's just there are some things going on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get there, and I'm not there.
Yeah. you know, and then life happens, man, you know, so we'll get back on track.
But that right there, like I can't tell you how much that stressed me out just to even have that phone call.
Yeah, no, I know you did sound like it was, and I was like, oh, well, I thought it would be worse. A worse call, you know, I'm like, oh shit, because now we got to pivot for real, but yeah, so it was stressful for you, but it was more stressful for me thinking about what it was.
It's on both sides,
and
right?
You said that, I'm like, oh, hey, nothing, like, okay, but then I see how you could be stressed about it because, you know, it's a lot on you, and you know, you felt obligated and you felt responsible, but yeah, you know, that's you know, you gotta take care of your mental, man. Like, you gotta take care of it, dude.
It's so tough. What do you think? What do you believe is the biggest challenge when it comes to a man seeking help?
I think it comes down to pride. I think it comes, you know, like just you kind of feel a way, not really embarrassment, but like a little bit maybe.
Like, oh, you going with me? There, you punk.
Yeah. Like, you know, just that look down upon. It could be like, you know, just it could be like a little trauma for some people.
Going to therapy or seeking out.
Seeking out, you know, just kind of. I want to say maybe like just that talking, like, you know, the fear of the fear of expressing, you know, because you may look a certain way, you looked at a certain way,
like you soft. That makes sense.
Yeah, shoot, it could even be financial, you know.
Yeah.
Like that was on my mind. This is a worry on my mind still, like. This is another bill, like, damn, you know?
Yeah.
But it's another bill to take care of yourself. Like, you can sacrifice another, you know? I can sacrifice this Hulu and Netflix. To get my mind right, you know? So that's kind of, I had to learn that, you
know? It's funny that you say that, because one thing that I say to people is, okay, you could be spending X amount of dollars on this thing, but... you know, how do you look at it in terms of, be it your mental health or something that's supposed to help you in the long run? Is it like an impulsive buy, or are you investing in your future?
Right. What was your last impulsive buy? I don't think I can remember mine.
I don't know. I don't remember because it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Because I'm responsible.
Honestly, same here because I'm broke. But because I got bills. But I can't think of the last impulsive buy. Like, I haven't bought shoes in a while. I haven't bought clothes in a while.
I mean, if we're talking about like food. Okay, I can.
Oh yeah, it's different.
I can touch on.
I'm gonna spend money on food.
Charge to the game.
Yeah. That's cooked. I'm gonna spend money on food.
Give me that chicken sandwich, man.
Yeah.
Put the extra pictures on
no real impulsive thing. I haven't.
No, nothing really comes to mind.
It's been a while, man.
Yeah.
I'll get back to it though. I'll get back to spending money on proper things though.
Is it, nigga? Did you not just drop the step?
Exactly.
I'm like, look at life, bro. Look at where we are.
Yeah, man.
Again, investment. All right.
So like, I'm more like looking into putting money for yard work. Like, I'm excited to do yard work.
I was gonna say, you got a yard. You were talking about this for a minute.
Oh, I got a plan, outline, drawn up. Like, that's gonna be my next impulsive. Like, be the best yard of the block, brother.
Congratulations. Oh my God, I can see it. I'm just gonna pull up and just see you with your hands on it.
Yeah. Had me one of them sun hats on. some gardening gloves, getting to it. Getting busy. I can't wait.
Like, oh, this man is for real.
For real.
That is a good example of, like,
You know what's even more funnier about this is like I haven't told anyone that I moved.
Yeah.
Like like literally nobody. Like probably two, like my mom probably know, like 2 people know.
And I hope so.
Yeah, but like literally nobody knows I moved, and I didn't have time for that, you know.
It's so funny. Okay, here's what happened, right?
But yeah, if y'all watching this or listening to this, I moved, so hit me up if you try to come through.
Getting ready to go, heading out, and I just get a text from this man talking about new address. And I'm like, okay, this how you tell me? Thank you.
I figured I'd save it for the podcast.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Oh, God.
Surprise, surprise. But yeah, man, so if you're watching this, listen to this. I'll let her no more. So don't go.
Are you going to do an open house?
Nah, I'll probably do something low key.
Not an open house. What am I talking about?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Like a housewarming.
Housewarming, thank you.
You know, when I get the grill, I got a nice grill coming from one of my buddies. So once that get figured out, you know, let's just get unpacked.
And you're actually settled in.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Maybe something in August or something, you know.
What is it, June?
June.
That's a good time,
Yeah.
I'd say. All right. Why don't we keep moving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Protect your mental health, y'all. We'll get into that, you know. We get into that a lot.
Audio listeners, you didn't see it, but I touched my head.
Yeah.
Protect your noggin.
All right, man. What's next?
Safety care training.
What is that?
It's something that I had to learn and need to learn or update every year. So, for y'all who have been listening for quite some time, you know I'm in the mental health field, and I used to work with children and certain behaviors.
Yeah.
One of the first things that you learn being in this space is it's a safety care, right? So I thought this was very interesting. You have to tend to particular clients a certain way, right? And you have to be prepared for whatever might take place.
Yeah.
And that could be from them trying to injure themselves, them trying to injure you, or them trying to harm somebody else. And this shit is real. Like it has happened. It does happen. I've seen it.
Yeah.
With my own eye. I've seen hair pulled. I've seen people kicked. I've seen people pissed on. It's just it goes there, bro. It goes there. But I thought, here's why I think this was interesting. Even like the first time that I did it, because the things that they were talking about and just the examples that they were using in terms of like how to get out of the situation, defending yourself, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I have some background in martial arts. I know how to carry myself pretty well. I'll fuck a kid up. Like I'll hem him up. But my perspective changed. Like, okay, women, a lot of women are in situations like this where, you know, you could be with a kid that's like 3 times or more your size.
Yeah.
How are you going to handle that?
Right.
Like, what are you going to do in a situation like that? You can't just toss it out. You just
No.
They're trying to do something to you, and it's not good. So I was like, okay, this makes sense. But the biggest thing that really stood out to me, like that kind of flipped the script for me, it was like, okay, I'm a man. It doesn't mean I can just put a kid in a headlock and that's the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, no.
That's how I feel every day.
You can't,
But
you can't
I know
do
I
that.
can't.
You cannot do that.
But that's how I feel every day. Like, honestly, bro.
Dog, there's actually...
I tell you, I look at that 4th camera every day, bro. Like, they try me every day. But I know they try me out of love, too. You know what I mean? Because, like, they really love and respect me. But it's a lot of times I'm like, they don't respect me. Because why are you talking to me like this? Because, like, who do you... Like, first of all, who do you think you are? Who do you think I am? Like, but, yeah, like, I got man.
Him.
But, like, I literally envision, before I respond, I, like, envision just putting them through that wall or the headlock first, and then like I snap out of it, like, oh, like what you said, like what was said, like. But it's very funny, because it's very true.
Dog, have you ever? I don't even think I should say this.
Don't say it.
No. Never mind. Never mind.
No, we love y'all. We love the kids.
We love the kids. Even the one that throw chairs. Man. But no. Okay, that's a perfect example though, because I did not realize this myself. For men, you have to be a certain way with children as well. I mean that I know that sounds dumb, but when you're talking about tending to children with behaviors, right? And you are not only are you not trained, but you just don't think about it in another way. Immediately, you're just gonna be like, okay, I gotta hem them up. I gotta put them in a chokehold, and it's like you can't do that. There's protocol. Did you even know this? Like there are certain steps you have to take before you can even put a kid.
We have to do that training.
Yeah, see, so
we have to do that training. Yeah.
And I just thought that was so interesting, and I was like, no, this makes sense, especially if you're a dude, because immediately as a man, you're like, okay,
it's also an ego and pride thing.
That's what I'm saying. You got to check that.
Yeah, it's all ages.
You got to check that at the door.
All ages. You have to, man. I learned that. It took me a while learning, but I learned that, man. Like, it's like none of this shit matters. Like,
just let it go.
Yeah, just let them be tough.
So I don't know. I brought that. I just thought that was so interesting. Like, wow, that really changed my way of thinking.
No, for real. That's valid. That's valid. I rock with that.
Yeah. So that's all with that. Safety care training, I highly recommend for anyone and everyone. It helps. It helps.
Yeah.
Man, woman, whatever, man. You'll get something out of it.
Just do it. Be careful. Don't be sorry. Be careful.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Oh, God. Okay. Last one. Be like Snoop. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he's a young comic or comedian. He's on the Daily Show. His name is like Joshua something. I can't remember. He's funny though, but he said something that I thought was really interesting. I would never even think about it, but he's talking about Snoop Dogg. He's talking about Snoop and how Snoop has gone from being this like gangster. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's gone from this persona of being a gangster rapper, right? To fucking kicking it with Martha Stewart and being at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like, what is life? And just some of the things that he was saying, joking or not, he was just saying like, you can do it. You know, your life can change in a moment. It's just on what you want to do with it. And I was just like, hold on, let's take a minute here. Like Snoop D-O-G-G, yes, 100% has gone from that persona of a rapper to fucking a cook. He has a cookbook with Martha Stewart.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's something nobody ever thought about. Like, oh, I wonder what Snoop is making at home. Like, yeah, you kind of wonder now. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But I just thought that was interesting, and I thought it was cool because it's like, yeah, what are your limitations to life? Like, what's really stopping you from doing something that you really want to do? If this is a man who probably had at like a younger age, you know what I'm saying? Like, had no idea he would be at the goddamn Olympics,
right?
To actually be in that, or he even trained a few times too. He's just out here. So
Snoop does it all.
He does it all.
He's like a real legend, bro. Like a real legend, dog.
As on sketch comedy show on MTV, nobody remembers that. I bet you don't.
Legend. No, I bet. A real legend, man. Yeah, man.
So yeah, the main one was the Olympics. I thought that was interesting. Like, yeah, Snoop Dogg, like he was in the Olympics, not doing a sport, but like
hosting, commentating Olympics. Yeah.
Like, dog, how'd you get here?
Right.
that's just it. He's just cooling. So I think that's awesome, man. And
be like Snoop.
Just saying.
Be like
Snoop. Got some gold. Be like Snoop, man.
Mm-hmm.
Bow wow. All right. Anything you got to add to that, sir?
Nah, man, that's good. That's good. I think that's good timing too, man.
Yeah. Okay, last call. So many things. Man, you got anything?
Mine is real brief, bro. Just, we talked about a lot, but I think we talked about like this was more like informal, important, but still like, kind of chill. Like we said before, it's always about mental health, man.
See.
We're going to steady being advocates. No matter what we talk about on this podcast, we are going to be advocates of mental health. So just take those steps, man. Take those steps. Fellas, it is Mental Health Month for men, so do the things you need to do. Make those checklists. Make those lists, man. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Ladies, challenge you to check in on the men in your life. I challenge you to check in on the men, the boys in your life this month and see how they doing. You know what I mean? Make them talk. They don't want to talk. Make them talk. You know what I mean? And also take care of your mental health as well. Like this, just because it's Men's Mental Health Month, everybody should take care of their mental health. But check in on the boys and the men in your life. Make sure they are right. What can you do to help? What can they do? And just be that advocate and be that help that we need. And that's all I got for that.
That's very well said, sir. It's very good. It's actually funny that you say that. To piggyback off of that, talking to the women and saying, checking on the men. Men, be accountable,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just by that, I mean, check in with men, okay? Don't just be thinking, don't just be sitting at the crib and stewing about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what your partner might be going, your man's might be going through. Check in on your people.
And you might know, and you still might not say nothing. Don't be that man.
Don't be that man.
Don't be that man. Say something.
So, that's you know your people, man. You know your crowd. And if you really want change, right? Talking about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
That's the start. Be like, oh man, I know such and such said he was going through this. Let me check in on him.
Yeah. It goes a long way, man.
It does.
A brief text or phone call goes a long way.
We here at the Symposium podcast are getting better at that ourselves.
Yeah.
Said it earlier.
It's a lot of work.
It takes time, but we getting there.
Mm-hmm.
So again, just show and prove, just setting the example. Checking on men, check on men.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta say. All right. E, can you bring us home, sir?
All right, man. Great episode, man. Great episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rose said in the beginning, man, we getting back to it, getting caught up, man.
In the new stew?
Yeah, we just in the new low, in the new stew. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for you to keep rocking with us. If you haven't, if you're gone, then you won't hear this, and fuck you anyway. No, I'm just playing. But no, we truly appreciate it. We're gonna keep rocking. We're gonna keep, it's gonna we're gonna keep going. We've been going this long, man. It's gonna get bigger and better. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us. All right, this is season 5. I've been wrong on the last few page uploads on Instagram, but we are in season 5.
Yeah.
All right, this is episode 133.
Yeah.
I am E. Wright. This is Rose Gold. We are the Symposium podcast. All right. So remember, if it costs your mental health, it's way too expensive.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you in the next one. We out.
Peace.